welcome to the Game Birds. My name is Bree.
And I'm Alice.
And today we are playing Shining Nikki. This was Alice's pick, so Alice, take it away.
Shining Nikki. If you haven't heard about it yet, which it just hit, I think, over 10 million downloads. It's a free game. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, but Shining Nikki came out in December of 2024, so it's fairly new. It's a single player game. You can play it on your computer, your mobile phone, or your console, so it's pretty much everywhere. I don't know if I've broken the rules because it is technically not an indie game. Is that a rule? Is that a hard and fast rule?
There are no rules. Right. And also, this is our podcast. We can do whatever we want, so I think that's A-okay.
Well, so it is not technically an indie game, but it is from a smaller game company in China, so it isn't like a AAA American release or anything of that nature. So we'll take that on a technicality. And yeah, I've been playing the hell out of this game. I can't stop playing. I'm addicted. So I really wanted Bree to join me and I wanted to hear her feedback on it, but I'm truthfully a little nervous, Bree.
First impressions, I will be very honest, not good at all. But that is mostly because, and I think, Alice, we need to talk about the installation process for this game, because that did sour my experience a little bit. Thank you so much for warning me about it, because this is through Epic Games. And Epic Games has a separate launcher, and also Shining Nikki itself has a separate launcher. You have to log into both of those. And I think you told me that the game crashes the first time sometime. I don't know. Do you remember the exact instructions you gave me? Because they were a lot of instructions to get this game to fucking work.
Let me see if I can scroll up to the exact instructions, but it goes something like this. If you don't have Epic Games, and Epic Games, the launcher is very similar to a Steam, but it's obviously a different company. So you have to download Epic Games and make sure you have a login for that. Then you need to download Shining Nikki through the Epic Games store, which again, it is free, and install the launcher. Now, installing the launcher is not installing the game. So then the launcher has to install the game. And it's also going to ask you to create a login for that. And then when you install the game, you have to compile shaders. And that takes a long time the first time. So it just feels like if you think you're going to install the game, at every step it turns out that's not the game yet. Admittedly, is a very frustrating process that first time. I doubt it's this complicated on mobile or on console, but I've also heard it doesn't work well on mobile because it's Unreal Engine 5. It's got new graphics. It's a newer game. I'm surprised they released it on mobile, to be honest. But yes, it is a bit of a daunting process the first time. I think just going in with the expectation that you're going to have to install a bunch of stuff is the only way, I think, to go in and not be kind of pissed off by the end of it.
100%. Again, I so appreciate that you preface that for me, because I think I would have been far more frustrated if I had not known that. On top of it, just my own experience, once I finally fully downloaded the game, which did take a hot minute, I want to say it took maybe an hour, maybe two, possibly more. And then when I went to go play the game, I didn't have the right drivers installed. So then I had to go find the right drivers, download those, which also took a hot minute. And then finally, when I went to play the game, it was undergoing maintenance. And I was like, oh my God.
That's such bad luck.
That's exactly. So I can't totally fault the game for that. It was just kind of a perfect storm. I was literally like, wow, I am not allowed to play this game apparently. So I was already kind of going in a little frustrated, but Alice, I think that is very good advice. If you are really interested in this game, just know that it is a bit of an installation process, especially if you have not used Epic Games before. So maybe install it with the anticipation that maybe you'll play it the next day, or install it in the morning and then play it that evening. It's probably not going to be a same sitting, depending on, what you have going on in terms of your computer and things like that. But took a hot minute for me, and I found that really frustrating. Also, when I actually got into the game, and this was another thing that you warned me about, you basically said, hey, stay on the main quest line until I believe you get the fishing mechanic, and then you can kind of go do side quests. So I am very grateful that you gave me that advice. I will say I did not have fun in the game at all until about the time I got the fishing mechanic. So it's very anime coded. I don't like anime, to be honest with you. I realize as I've gotten older, there's just a certain feel of anime. The way they talk, it feels very stilted. A lot of information gets repeated. A lot of obvious information gets repeated. They don't really talk like human beings talk. That's kind of how I felt when I was first playing it. Basically, the premise of this game is that it's a dress-up game. So there's a bunch of different tasks that you need to do, but every time you need to do a certain new task, you need to get a new outfit. To get the new outfit, you need to get Whim Stars. When you get the Whim Star, you get to go to the, oh my gosh, there's so many steps to get these outfits. So I think initially I found that frustrating.
There's a lot going on in this game. between
A lot.
the currencies, between the quests, between the story, between everything you can possibly do and collect and buy. Just to back up for a second, if you've ever played Breath of the Wild or a similar open world game, it's very much in that vein. You've got an open world, you're unlocking all sorts of random side quests, you can wander around, you can find random caves and puzzles, and there's also, of course, a main quest that helps you unlock some major items. So I did give Bree the advice like, hey, try to stick to the main quest until you unlock fishing, because there's a number of these mechanics that you unlock that are just really helpful to be able to even do half the quests. But truthfully, the most fun I have in it is the wandering. It is like the mindless, aimless, like I'm just wandering in this world and finding random caves and collecting everything I see. And of course, the outfits. We'll get to the outfits, but this is very much an open world adventure game that has about 500 mechanics.
Yes.
I don't know if you agree with this, Brie. I feel like you could just ignore everything and have no idea what's going on and kind of still flop your way into stuff in this game.
100%. Honestly, for me, I think when I let go that maybe I don't understand every single, because there are 800 menus in this game, and I was literally just kind of clicking through being like, what do all of these things do? And I think if you try to understand each and every single menu and what its purpose is, you might have a bad time, because I think not all of it is that important. So to your point, I think I enjoy this game a lot better when I was like, okay, I'm going to hone in on the features of this game that I really, really enjoy, which is dressing up. So when I really got into this game, I wrote this in my notes and I'm like, this might be a very weird comparison, but there's a really nostalgic feeling about this game for me, just the way it's structured. It kind of reminded me of like the Barbie games I would play growing up, like the Barbie horse riding adventure, things like that, where it's like kind of a silly, convoluted plot, but you're like, I'm just here to look at pretty horses and pet horses. So like when I got to that section where I'm like, oh, I could just buy cute clothes and pet animals in the world and do little silly side quests. Hell yeah. That's when I started to have like the most fun. So I think to your point, yes, there's a lot of different like things to do, but I think if you kind of hone in on a couple of things that you are enjoying the most, you can really ignore the rest. Because even like the main storyline is a little convoluted. I don't totally follow it, but I'm not really engaging with it at the point I'm at. And I don't think you have to.
No, you don't have to. I think it's one of those things too. There's so many mechanics, and I don't feel like I really understood a lot of them or really how to use a bunch of them until I got a lot farther. And I appreciate that I guess they give you all those options pretty upfront, and somebody I guess tells you in some dialogue what it does, but man, there's so much dialogue in this game. There's a whole lot of click, skip for me. It sounds like for you too. Like reading all the dialogue and like reading all the tutorials, like it's a lot. And I found it a lot more enjoyable to learn about some of those mechanics as I needed them, or like I'd hit a wall or like and realize, oh, there's a mechanic in here that helps me. I will admit also my little sister is obsessed with this game and did give me some helpful pointers as well. So I think also watching somebody else play is a good way to kind of get a feel for some of the things you can do, from upgrading your outfits and winning styling challenges, which is another big part of this game. You put together outfits and there's different styling challenges around the world. The outfits have tags like they're a cool outfit or a sweet outfit. And based on who you're going up against, you're trying to put together a certain type of outfit that has different points. I would highly recommend going online and seeing the kind of unhinged outfits that people put together to win, but I don't even know where I'm going with this. And that's very much Infinity Nikki. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just wandering around. My brain's wandering around to 100 different things at once. And honestly, my ADHD loves it. I just love the total, again, like I'm just like, oh yeah, I can pet horses. Oh, there's a sheep. Oh, there's a flower. Oh, there's a cave. Like I'm literally just like giving into that at every moment.
Honestly, I think that's a really apt description though, because I'm like, yes, there is so much. And I think it is very easy to get overwhelmed and slightly frustrated in this game. Because I feel like at this point in the podcast, we might have like summarized the story of the game, but I wouldn't even really know where to begin to summarize the story. I know there's something about getting a special outfit. I know also we were brought into this world and we're a stylist. I also know that people are falling into comas and we don't really know why. So it's pretty fucking convoluted. So it's just like, I feel like if you're interested in that story, by all means, follow the story path, hop to it. But again, I think I had a lot more fun when I went away from that. The styling challenges I think are actually super, super fun. And I don't even think we mentioned yet, but there are are also like different types of outfits. There are ability outfits, and those are pretty fun, actually. I love that there's like a sort of flying, gliding ability that you can use pretty constantly that lets you traverse the world a lot differently. And you can switch between those abilities very quickly. I mentioned petting animals. There is a petting animals outfit, so you can approach wildlife and literally brush them, and it is so cute.
You need to brush them because you need those materials. You need their fur to make your outfits, obviously.
Correct. I know. And Alice, I don't know if you would agree with this, and maybe I'm mistaken on this, but I know when I was talking to other people, they're like, oh, isn't it like a silly gacha game? I think there are gacha mechanics, but I feel like, at least in my experience, it was a lot more of like a exploration and crafting system that I was using more than anything to craft ability outfits and then also get more money to buy cuter clothes.
As the person on the call who has maybe spent over $30 in this game now, yes, this is a gacha game, and you can spend real money to try and get more rolls. How it basically works is that there is both permanent outfits to roll for and limited. Limited outfits are only available for a specified period of time, usually like 20, 30 days, and take a special currency to roll. You do earn that currency constantly throughout the game. When you're opening chests and doing quests, you will get lots of these diamonds to do the limited rolls. And limited doesn't mean gone forever. Limited means this is the only time right now you can unlock this outfit because it's for special holidays or whatever's going on. So you're kind of motivated, or at least I was motivated, to spend a little bit of in real life, real world money to have a few more diamonds because I'm so far in the game that I don't unlock diamonds as fast. But I don't feel like it's predatory. You can absolutely just play this game without spending any money. And I honestly didn't for quite a while. And you will have just as much enjoyment. But if you really are into the cool new outfit and you just don't have enough diamonds or you just don't get lucky on your rolls, like, yes, you might end up spending a few dollars here or there. But as I mentioned, there's also the permanent banner. So the permanent gacha, which has a set of these 4 really beautiful dresses to pick from. There's a lot of opportunities to roll for really cool outfits. And there's even a pity system. So you go in and you pick which parts of the outfit you want the most, and it's eventually going to give it to you. I think it's pretty fair. All things considered, how unfair gacha is as a concept in a lot of ways, I don't find this game to be predatory at the very least.
I mean, that's encouraging. And honestly, clearly, I haven't even interacted with these mechanics at all, and I'm still having fun doing what I'm doing. I'm just earning in-game money and buying at the shops and buying different trends that I'm into at the time. So I have like a really punky look going on right now, which actually I almost got into a fight with my partner last night because he didn't like that my character was wearing cargo pants. He's like, it really destroys the look. And I said, sir, how very well dare you? Do you not like my style? Because this is absolutely my style. This is very Nana-coded, and I think I look cute as hell. So I have like cute little like orange crop top, cargo pants, little leather jacket, leather gloves. Oh my God. I think it's honestly, the outfit is very, very cute. I am very proud of it. So I really haven't interacted with the gacha at all. So I'm just like, and I'm still having a ton of fun with it. And the side quests, I will say, I think that is a huge benefit to this game. There's clearly lots of different ways to play it. Being open world, you can really interact with it in a lot of different ways. Yeah, I've just been having fun dressing up and doing the side quests. I just did a side quest with a dragon where I got him inspiration so he could write more poems. I'm like, this is insane.
Well, that dragon is the most controversial character in the entire game.
What?
Brie, how do you feel that dragon looks? Like how would you describe the look of that dragon?
The look of the dragon. I don't know. I will say he wasn't as cute as I thought he would be because you see his booty at first and I said, oh, it's a dragon. But he looks like, I don't know, an animatronic kind of like humanoid kind of dragon.
Yeah. I mean, that's the issue. There's a lot of discourse. Oh, as though I'm on everything. I've probably talked to like 3 people, but still, there's a lot of discourse between the 3 people I've talked to.
Oh, well.
About how ugly that dragon is, but precisely for the reasons you said. Like, it looks like an animatronic humanoid situation. But dragon, very important, gives you really, really cool outfit pieces later. So keep bringing stuff to the dragon. Man, there's just so much in this game. Like, we haven't even talked about the photography, and there's photography challenges, and there's combat, but the combat's actually really simple. I love that it's like all of the monsters you encounter just have 1 hit point for the most part.
Yep.
And you basically just have like 1 orb that you shoot in front of you. There are ways to upgrade it later with hair oils and fragrances, but the combat mechanic is so simple and it's so satisfying. Not a huge component in the game, just a really like fun little piece of it. You, of course, are doing it to collect more materials to make more outfits. So
Exactly. Yeah, it's so funny because I'm like, I almost hesitate to call it combat. There was a certain section where they're like, hey, it's going to be really dangerous in here. Take some health potions. And I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to need a health potion in this game. Sometimes there's a lot of enemies, but to your point, you hit them all and they're all one-shotted. So I don't think I'm necessarily looking for a heavy combat game if I'm looking for a game like this. So if you're looking for it, combat, this is not the game. It is not a huge part of it.
there's a couple boss battles, and the bosses have like 5-6 health. And
Oh,
you know,
wow.
it's pretty intense. There's just also, I just love that this game can be so rich and full of stuff and yet so mindless at the same time.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What's really nice, so later in the game, after you've beat a couple of the bosses and you're trying to collect your kind of like daily energy you're supposed to spend, and part of the way you spend your daily energy is like fighting the bosses again or doing some of the jumping puzzles again. And they added a mechanic where you could just be like, I've already done this a million times. Just give me the rewards. Like, here, trade my energy for the reward. I've already done it. You can be as engaged or as mindless as you want as long as you've beat it once before. They're like, okay, cool. Well, you know how to do it. So if you don't want to, here's your trinkets. Go make more outfits.
I love that, honestly. I did want to ask, because obviously you're loving this game a ton, and I love that, but is there anything that you wish was like a little bit different?
I mean, I'm always going to wish for more clothes. You go first.
I wish this had controller compatibility. I really like playing games like this with a controller, and does it work with a controller? Kind of. But obviously because this game has 80,000 menus, it's just impossible to map that, I imagine.
How are people playing on their phone?
I have no idea. I have heard, I think there are certain controllers that do work better with it, but it is not designed with that in mind. I'm just using a PlayStation 4 controller, and it does help me move around the world, but it is literally the only thing that it does. So the dress up mechanic is super, super fun, but there's a lot of menus within menus to find certain accessories, and I find that a little bit annoying. So I wish that was like placed a little bit better. It took me like literally hours to figure out how to put sunglasses on because I was like, where's the sunglasses menu? I'm so confused. So.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. There's some weirdness with the accessories versus the makeup sub menu in the dress up area that it's hard to scroll. It's easy to like accidentally close it. It definitely has some issues. I heard they're adding a one-click button that just puts on everything that has the highest points so that you can be even lazier with your styling challenges. You can actually save 4 different outfits as well. So I love having an outfit that I always wear when I'm going to the caves versus an outfit for like the story cutscenes. If there was one thing I would change, it's that I wish I could save more than 4 outfits because I have more than 4 different types of scenarios that I would like to be dressed and ready for.
Absolutely. I think that is more than fair. I think the fishing mechanic in this game is terrible.
Oh, yeah.
I think everything about it is terrible. Because I know you were telling me, once you get the fishing mechanic, I'd recommend you could do side quests at that point. And it took me a hot second to figure out how to catch a fish. Because I think you have to like switch between A and D, and then you have to right click, and then you have to do something else. It's like 4 different things to catch a fish. I was like, this is stupid. Stardew Valley did it right. They did it the best, and everyone should learn from them.
Yeah, I don't understand why they make it a little bit overly complicated. It also actually really hurts my hand to do because, like you said, you have to use A and D, and basically you're trying to pull your fishing rod in the opposite direction that the fish is going, and so that's what the A and D is. So you're maybe switching if the fish switches direction. That part's annoying, but the extra annoying part is then after a little bit of that, you're supposed to mash the right button as fast as you can, and then you might have to do that a couple times depending on how rare the fish is. But mashing the button is actually kind of not great for my old, decrepit, pre-arthritic hands because I've been playing video games for too many years to admit on the internet. I just don't love it. And Shining Nikki's going to simplify everything else in the game. Can we please just simplify fishing? Because for me, it's super annoying.
100%, especially because all the other ability outfits, I feel like to use those abilities, it's very intuitive. It's like one click or a hold down or something like that. So the fact that the fishing mechanic with the fishing outfit is the most complicated for literally no reason, it kind of really interrupted the gameplay for me. So I literally fished one time for that mission and I have not done it since because I'm like, I refuse. I'm only going to do this if I absolutely have to because this is not a fun experience. So catching insects is actually I don't want to say it's fun, but it reminds me of like Animal Crossing. You just kind of sneak up and throw your net at it and it lets you know, it indicates when it's ready to be caught. And very similar with the petting mechanic. You just sneak up to them and give them a scritch and it's perfect. Like it's very simple. And I'm like, why did they make this mechanic the absolute worst? So I hope they change that at some point.
The first time I saw a cutscene of me kneeling down and brushing a Pomeranian, I nearly cried. It was like the cutest, most wonderful thing ever. I'm at the point where I skip the cutscenes for most of it because I've seen all the animals.
Sure.
Like, it's just the detail on some of that. Like, I can complain about the fishing all day, but then I could cry over the animal brushing piece. So it's like, it's this kind of game that's just like, it's everything and nothing and mindless yet full. And like, it's just everything at once.
100%. And honestly, I have really enjoyed brushing the birds. The birds are so dang cute. And that's been like my favorite thing. There's like these little kind of toucan-looky ones. And I really like those birds. So I'm like, I'm stopping what I'm doing. I see a bird over there. But sometimes I scare them and they fly away. That makes me very sad. But I also need to calm down. So I understand. But I will say the petting mechanic was the thing that kind of like hooked me in. When I first started playing, I was pretty annoyed with this game. And I was like, I just don't think this is going to be for me. There's too many things that I find to be overwhelming and annoying about it. But once I got the petting outfit and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cute, especially because a lot of times I kept finding cats because I would hear them meow and I was like, where's the kitty? I need to find the kitty. So I'm like inventing my own side quest to like locate the cat that I'm hearing near me. And then I would pet him and then he would fall in love with me. And I was like, this is really all I need. And then it just kind of went from there. So
question. Have you chased a cat off a roof before?
It's so funny you say that because here's the thing. No, but I was very nervous of doing that because I was on a roof getting a Whimstar and I heard a cat. I was like, why are you up here? Thankfully, I just pet him and then he just sat up there. So Did you do that though?
Chase a cat. Okay, I know this sounds bad, but it's not bad. They're fine. They land on their feet.
Oh, good.
Chase a cat off the roof. It is the cutest animation in the entire world when they fall off of that roof. I'm okay. Listen, guys. I'm not evil. Okay, I just accidentally scared the cat, and unlike Brie, I didn't recover. The cat, ran away, and it ran off the roof, and I discovered a wonderful animation that you should definitely experience.
I guess I will give that a try because that sounds adorable, even though it doesn't sound adorable at all. But I'm going to take your word for it.
There is so much in this game. We've barely scratched the surface. I guess to sum it up for me, this is the open world game of my womanly dreams. And I would highly recommend that anybody who's willing to get over the hump of an installation process should absolutely check this game out. Or you know what? If maybe you don't have a PC or maybe you're not interested in doing that kind of thing, go watch somebody on YouTube play. At least enjoy it secondhand. I think it's worth even enjoying secondhand.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Again, it took me a minute to really get into this game, but once I found elements that really connected with me, I was like, okay, I see the appeal of this. I can definitely play this a little bit longer. Find something in this game that like kind of works for you because there is a lot and it can be very overwhelming. And if you just kind of block out the things that you're like, okay, I don't need to interact with this, or maybe I'll discover this later, I think you'll find a lot of joy in this game. As I mentioned earlier, like this made me feel very nostalgic. It really like just felt like a simpler game from my youth where I was just like, I'm just a cute girl wearing cute outfits, petting cute animals. And sometimes that's really all I need. And I wrote a quote here. I don't remember writing this, but I think that my summary of this game is that the stakes are low, but the fashion is high.
Wow. All right. Round of applause, everybody. Thank
you.
That was very good.
That's
very
the tagline for this game now.
Well, Brie, tell me a little bit about what game you want to play next.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for suggesting Infinity Nikki. This was a very fun and interesting pick for me. But next time, I think I want to take it even more low-key. I found this game just kind of scrolling on TikTok, and it is called Kemeru, and it is a frog rescue game. It looks very adorable. There's only about like 120 reviews, so it seems pretty small, but looks fun and adorable, and I'm excited to play it.
Let's take it back down, all the way back down to the indies, and by down, I mean in like, numbers or
the swamp.
Something, down to the swamp.
In a pond.
In a pond. Well, thanks, Brie, for playing Infinity Nikki with me, and I'll see you all next time.
Bye.